The Pan-African Cultural Festival is a celebration of African Heritage Month in Montgomery County, Maryland. The event showcases African cultural dances, arts and crafts, and live performances by African artists. A sampling of African cuisine will also be available. Ivo Tasong is the founder of the Pan-African Festival, and we are pleased to have him with us in the studio today. Mr. Tasong, welcome to In Focus.
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
Yes, right. Let's first go to the beginning. How did this concept get born?
Well, I happen to have been the chairman of the All Cameroonian Cultural and Development Foundation, an organization that was founded about 10 years ago by Cameroonians in the DC metro area, and we decided to celebrate our cultural heritage. We've been doing this for 10 years, and last year I happened to have been appointed the co-chair of the African Affairs Advisory Group in Montgomery County, and I did propose to the advisory group that why allow Africans to celebrate the culture as individual countries? Why not come together as Africans and have one festival in celebration of African Heritage Month in September?
Yes. So since then, how many other groups, other nationalities have joined hands with you to make sure that this really becomes a Pan-African festival?
At the moment, we have about 25 countries that have signed on, either doing an act or an artist or a cultural group or hometown associations, and several other organizations are part of it.
So what is the objective? I mean, I know there's the meeting and enjoying and being together, but to what extent does this really achieve that objective of unifying the people from the African continent?
Well, that's a great question. We are actually using culture as a means to an end. We want to get the attention of Africans in the metro area. And our goal is, once we can engage culturally and we can come out and create linkages between the various organizations and sub-regions in Africa, we can now start having the serious conversation, which is beyond cultural engagement. What about health and human services within our communities? What about political engagement? What about civic responsibilities? So again, we're just using culture to get the attention of the Africans in the region, and also to let our host communities get to learn about our heritage.
And I find this rather interesting because my observation around the Washington metropolis is that many people are organized within their little communities, their ethnicities and nationalities. That is even to do with even worship areas where people worship as an ethnic group or people of a particular nationality.
Right.
So do you hope that this can completely break down all this and have people working together as Africans?
That is the goal. Last year we had maybe 10 countries, and this year we have 25 countries. And eventually we are hoping that it's okay to celebrate. I happen to be from Cameroon. It's okay to celebrate Cameroonian Cultural Festival or Kenyan Cultural Festival. But I think it's important for all of us to be at the table and speak with one voice. So our goal is, hopefully, we're going to start realizing that if we foster any type of engagement as individual countries in Africa, our voices will not be heard. We need to come together.
Do you project this having any effect back home where perhaps you can transfer some of the experience here to benefit the communities in Africa?
Absolutely. In terms of capacity building and economic development, what we're hoping for is, as members of the African diaspora, we have a role to play here in the United States and back on the continent. We want to be able to mobilize Africans, all the professionals, business owners, to hopefully contribute somehow in developing our homeland. So eventually, we have to have an agenda. We have to have an African diaspora agenda, and we need to go back home and contribute. And just to give you an example, the United States is known for its philanthropy, but it's challenging for the average business person to go to Africa and feel comfortable to set up a business. So why not use us Africans in the diaspora as a bridge?
In about 15 seconds, do you think there could be a day when there will be an African Day in the whole of the United States and not just Maryland?
Absolutely. The goal is the whole Pan-African brand and mobilizing Africans. We are hoping that we can now go to various states or various regions in the United States. And in September, all of us can celebrate September as African Heritage Month.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tasong. And that's Mr. Tasong, who joined us, Ivo Tasong rather, the founder of the Pan-African Festival in Montgomery County, Maryland. He joined us here on In Focus.